Stoicism and the Roman mind. In uncertain times, some philosophies grow louder. We often use the word Stoic to describe someone cold, unfeeling, a person who shows no emotion, who stays calm while the world burns. But that isn't what Stoicism truly was. At its core, Stoicism wasn't about suppression. It was about strength, the kind that arises not from hardness, but from self-understanding, from a calm relationship with one's own inner life, from a clarity that allows both the mind and the soul to stand firm, even as the world shifts and fractures. It began in ancient Greece, but it reached its full expression in Rome, not in temples, but in the lives of emperors, slaves, soldiers, and exiles. It wasn't a philosophy for debate, it was a way of being. Zeno of Citium taught philosophy on a painted porch, the Stoa Poikile. From this humble place came a quiet revolution, the belief that our deepest strength lies not in what we control, but in how we respond. His world had already seen Plato and Aristotle, but Zeno asked something different. He wasn't interested in classifying reality. He was interested in guiding a life, not metaphysics, but direction, not grand answers, but inner alignment. The Stoics believed the universe was guided by logos, a rational force woven into all things. To live well meant to live in harmony with that deep order, to find the rhythm beneath chaos, the structure inside uncertainty. But the experience of that harmony wasn't only intellectual, it was also soulful, a way of feeling the world through image, silence, and imagination. Stoicism divided philosophy into logic, physics, and ethics, but it was always ethics that mattered most, because that's where life actually happens. They said, virtue is the only good, and we suffer not because of events, but because of our judgments about them. When Stoicism reached Rome, it became something more than theory. It became survival. Seneca, the philosopher at court, lived in paradox, surrounded by wealth and power, yet writing about simplicity, calm, and restraint. He stood near tyranny and still wrote about how to die well. In his letters to Lucilius, he reflected on anger, mortality, time, and fear, not as abstract ideas, but as conditions of the human soul. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, and imagination has form. It shapes the way we feel the world. Our fears, our hopes, even our silence, carry mythic weight. Then came Epictetus, born a slave, wounded in body, but lucid in mind. He taught that nothing truly belongs to us, except our will. You are not your body, you are not your wealth, you are how you choose to respond. He spoke with the clarity of someone who had lost everything, and discovered that nothing essential had been taken. It's not things that disturb us, he said, but our opinions about things. But behind opinion, there are deeper forces, stories, memories, unseen patterns. To train the mind is also to confront those patterns, not just to master them, but to understand their shape. Then Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who wrote in the dark. He led armies, he ruled an empire, and in quiet moments, he wrote only to himself. No audience, no applause. Just pages filled with reminders, to be kind, to be humble, to accept death without fear. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. His notebook, The Meditations, is not the voice of a ruler, but the voice of a man trying to hold on to clarity, amid power, pressure, and grief. To the Stoics, philosophy wasn't something you read. It was something you practiced. They gave us tools, the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, voluntary discomfort, daily reflection. But all of these tools point beyond reason. They invite a poetic discipline, where thought meets feeling, where virtue grows not from denial, but from integration. To be Stoic was never to feel nothing. It was to feel clearly, to let emotion pass through without letting it define us, to know that the storm will come, but we are not the storm. Today, Stoicism returns, not as a trend, but as a response to distraction, to anxiety, to the pressure to perform and to prove. Its voice cuts through modern noise with a quiet rhythm. You cannot control the world, but you can shape how you meet it. We still ask the same questions. What matters? What can I lose and still remain myself? What does it mean to be free? And Stoicism offers something deeper than comfort. It offers a way to see the architecture of the soul, to name the invisible tensions, to walk into life's uncertainty with a kind of inner order, flexible but rooted. No one is free, wrote Epictetus, who is not master of himself. But mastery is not a clenched fist. It is a kind of openness, a surrender to what is, without surrendering who we are. Stoicism does not ask us to become stone. It asks us to become steady, so that we can live and love without fear of collapse.